do we manage our built environment to meet the changing natural environment?
Climate change is an important global issue. The natural environment of our planet is changing as a result of climate change, and this is affecting our built environment, resulting in additional social and economic impacts. What is climate change? Climate change is a result of an increase in gases within the environment that trap heat inside our atmosphere, creating a greenhouse effect that causes global warming. Of all the greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide is the largest contributor to climate change, and this is a direct result of the burning of fossil fuels. The amount of carbon dioxide output into our atmosphere has increased since the Industrial Revolution and has rapidly accelerated since 1950. This is demonstrated by this NASA graph, which is based on an analysis of atmospheric samples contained in ice cores, as well as more recent direct measurements. The increased amount of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere has created the greenhouse effect of global warming, resulting in higher temperatures within our atmosphere, which has led to higher average temperatures on the surface of our planet. Although 0.9 degrees Celsius sounds like a minor amount, it's important to note that the 6 warmest years on record have taken place since 2014. It is apparent that global warming is now taking place at a rapidly accelerating rate.
Higher temperatures as a result of climate change have several implications for our natural environment, including extreme weather conditions such as heat waves, melting ice caps which result in rising sea levels, natural disasters like bushfires which thrive in drier conditions, lack of water causing droughts. Our changing natural environment has impacts for our built environment. It is important that we look to adapt and reuse our buildings in new ways to effectively handle the challenges of climate change and sustain our quality of life on all environmental, social and economic levels. The Resilient Sydney Strategy 2018 consists of 5 directions to work towards improving the resilience of Sydney as part of the 100 Resilient Cities initiative, each with a flagship action and a number of supporting and aligned actions. Direction 2, Live with Our Climate, is especially relevant to the global issue of climate change. It looks to overcome the pressures of increasing temperatures on our health, environment and community by adapting to sustain quality of life and the environment. Sydney is particularly affected by rising temperatures. Direction 2 acknowledges and attempts to address this. By considering the flagship action of cool homes, we can look at cooling our Sydney built environment in such a way so that not only are we less impacted by rising temperatures, but we can also lessen our contribution to further climate change. We can also look to meet the supporting action of providing affordable access to renewable and resilient energy, as well as the aligned actions of a more flexible and resilient water cycle and reducing reliance upon liquid fuel. The City of Sydney contains existing residential apartment buildings that could benefit from retrofitting to achieve the flagship action and many of the supporting and aligned actions of Direction 2. To investigate potential options for retrofitting apartment buildings, we can look to what strategies other cities have undertaken and whether their experiences can be applied for Sydney. Green roofing is a relatively well-known solution for cooling of buildings. Urban rooftop farms take green roofing one step further. Not only do they help to cool and reuse the stormwater of the buildings on which they are located, they also have the added benefit of producing food for the local community as a viable economic activity. It may not be realistic to expect to feed a whole city with the local urban rooftop farms. However, even a partial reduction on the reliance of transportation and thus carbon emissions to move produce in from rural locations would be beneficial for our environment. Brooklyn Grange in New York operates 3 large urban rooftop farms that grow over 45,000 kilos of organic produce per year. I visited their Navy Yard rooftop farm last year and found it fascinating how buildings with otherwise unused rooftops could be developed to support such a productive environment. Nature Urbaine, recently opened in Paris, is another example of a successful rooftop farm. It is now the largest urban farm and Europe's biggest green roof in the world at 14,000 square metres in size. It also uses soil-free methods which maximise the use of space. France now has 10 times more green roofs than Germany, where the green roof movement first started. This was a direct result of the 2015 passing of a law by the French government to mandate that all new commercial roofs must now be covered with either solar panels or vegetation. Similarly, New York City in 2019 implemented local laws 92 and 94 to mandate that any roof undergoing major construction be covered in either solar panels or a green roof system. The City of Sydney could use this example to apply similar requirements for building developments, not only for commercial buildings but also for residential buildings above a certain size. For retrofits of existing buildings, the City of Sydney could also consider incentives such as providing information resources and advice for owners' corporations on how they can implement green roof urban farms and renewable energy solutions for existing residential buildings. Subsidies to encourage strata-managed buildings to install solar panels and wind turbines for renewable energy in a similar manner to that as the New South Wales Government are currently providing for low-income earners to install solar at low or no cost. Work with Sydney Water to provide free water fixed strata services for residential buildings to reduce their water usage and expenses by fixing leaks and installing water-saving devices. Incentives for buildings to implement electric car and bicycle sharing schemes, including installing chargers in car and bicycle parking spots with a connection to the rooftop renewable energy system for the building, effectively providing free fuel. These measures would satisfy the actions of Direction 2 Live With Our Climate, flagship action to help cool our homes, supporting action to provide affordable access to renewable and resilient energy, and aligned actions for a more flexible and resilient water cycle and reducing reliance upon liquid fuel.